So greetings, this is Eduardo Jumbo. In this tutorial, we're going to create a DOM click event. It's going to be styled in a new window for JavaScript. So you can follow along. I'll show you the parts where if you're following along, and you can, if you're not using the jumboshop.com Learning JavaScript Course web ID, this should work perfectly fine in a simple web browser, or if you have your own text editor or IDE to follow along. So basically, JavaScript makes it easy to create DOM click event styled content for new windows. New windows can be opened in the same window as a new window or a new tab. By default, most modern browsers, they open up in a new tab, but if you change the settings in a web browser, you should be able to open it up in a separate window. So basically here, the styling part we actually did in the previous tutorial for the DOM CSS, and just creating new windows, we did that HTML. That was in the prior, so two prior tutorials. So in so what are events? Events are simply an action that's triggered by user interaction of the browser occurrence. So what that means is that, for example, you see what I did here. When I click this, that's an event. Something click is an event. So in this particular tutorial, we're going to only be concerned with the click events. There are different types of events. We'll do that in a future tutorial. For this one, it's a click event because the concepts that I'll teach today will also be applicable for future events. So once again, even the open is an event because, if, for example, somebody could click something and you open up in JavaScript as a new window. So that could be an event. In this one is just simply the window.open, and obviously the style, that's an inline event. What that means is that maybe somebody clicks something and then you change the color of something else, or that particular thing, so that could be an event as well. And obviously the gist of our tutorial today is the on click. So when somebody clicks, usually with a mouse or a touch on a touch device, you trigger a function when an element is clicked. So example, we could have a separate function, or it could be, as we talked in previous tutorials, type of functions you could have. Could be a separate functions like this one here, or it could be an inline function, because JavaScript does allow those, including dynamic, we create right on the fly. So as usual, you can expand this source here to get the source code. You can simply copy and paste, or make sure you don't have any mistakes. If you prefer to follow along the long way, which is fine as well. As you can see, I do have a screenshot here. It's clipped off, that's not a problem. We'll show you the bottom part, see from line 24 to 32 here, and also they'll pop up the new window here. I made it small, that's what you can see, and there are three clickable events we're going to target. So obviously there's a button here, so every time you click the button, it prints out a message. It puts a message inside an element, and then there's which is a div, and just keeps on appending. And then there's this one here, which are simply hyperlinks, anchor tags. So those ones, when you click, the message will come up. It's a confirmation message. So that will be the event. Now, just to let you know that depending on the security restrictions on your browser, you might need to add a meta tag. So you see here on line 17, it's a meta content security policy, that's CSP. And usually you need to put default source. That will allow the CSS and JavaScript to work. And you also need to have a script one which will allow so you have to put unsafe inline, that's allow JavaScript to work. Now, because JavaScript is usually cached on most browsers, it might not work. You might have to do it twice for it to show up. So don't think that nothing is working, something's wrong. It's simply that there's usually a cache. So don't get discouraged, or just simply, if you put it on a website instead of for example, a specific website, or if it will work. Okay, so the reason for this security restriction is so that this prevents hackers from taking over. Say, for example, when you're working locally, like I am, you don't want a hacker to be able to go into your local system. That's why those type of restrictions are put there. Okay, and of course, this is the video you're watching right now, and I'll just so we'll be using the ojamboshop.com online web IDE because it comes with JavaScript and obviously the IDE or text editor allows me to execute the code right there. But I said you can follow along with any browser you want or text editor. That's not a problem. JavaScript is open source, as you know. I only use mostly open source software. It follows the MScript standard, licensed under W3 software license by web browser vendors and runtime environment vendors. Commercial use, modification, distribution, and making derivatives proprietary. Just a quick reminder that every Friday there will be a live stream. For now, it's at 8 p.m. Eastern every Friday. You check it out at ojambo.com. So, for example, if you go to ojambo.com right now, you see this, it's a sticky. So the next one, we're going to discuss the customer sets price plugin. This is a custom plugin that I made myself, and you're able to set a price. It's a WooCommerce plugin. So what that means is that in this upcoming tutorial, the live stream, I'll talk about how to install WooCommerce in WordPress, and then also, which is also a plugin of WordPress, and then a WooCommerce plugin, this one customer sets price plugin, which I made myself. So the gist of this tutorial will be how to create your own plugin where you host it yourself, and you if you have an update, people will be able to get the update automatically. So that will be a good follow-up based on the custom plugins we made last time. Okay, so to see how this plugin works, just quickly, you see it's here, so you can see customer sets price, the plugin. I set for this price. So this plugin itself, you can also set your own price. So you don't actually need to pay that. You can pay more or less, whatever you can afford. So if, for example, if I go here, you can see you set your price. So it's the price which I put inside WooCommerce, and this is the quantity down here. But you can set your own price, whatever price you want, and then you'll be able to pay that amount. So that's the plugin here. As you can see, I didn't do pretty good. Should probably change that screenshot, but it's pretty simple. That's all it does. So then you can use it for any product in WooCommerce. Okay, so now that's that. Now let's go to ojamboshop.com, and we can begin the coding part of this tutorial. So as usual, as I was saying, you can simply go and copy the paste from the article, but show you how easy it is to simply, you can copy, and you see, just paste it there. It's that simple. Now let's start our new window. So new window. I'm gonna change I'm gonna code NW because I don't want to type such a long new window. Open now, and then the height equals 200, the width equals 400, status equals yes, toolbar equals no, menu bar equals no, and location equals no. Okay, then new window content p equals new window dot document. Oops, should be nw dot document dot create element. So just a quick reminder that instead of typing new window, I just shorten it to NW because it's just shorter to write instead of having new. So that's the only difference between this and whatever is, if you're following on the tutorial, you can just copy paste. So unlike last time, I'll just use inner HTML. I'll use the template strings. Let's say be sure to check out href equals. So template strings allow me to use single or double quotes without having to escape them or worrying if make a mistake. Yes, jumboshop.com. Okay, and the span for the courses, and to leave a donation, click another one here. HTTPS, yes, jumbo.com/donate here. And close off the template string. Actually, probably I'll put that there on the same line. Let me actually do that. There we go. Okay, then I'm going to make a div. This div is simply just going to be the place where I'll put the message when the button is clicked. So it's simply be a div. And finally, I'll create the button. Document.create element. Button.inner HTML. I'll use template strings again. Button set attribute on click. Document.query selector. So select the div and give it an inner HTML. Now, because we want to append, meaning keep the current content and just append to it, the time stamp is now. You just put the date. This will be a localized to your whatever your web browser does. Okay. Then we're going to create some styles. This doesn't change from last time. Document.create element style dot inner HTML. I'll use the template strings again, so it'll be span, color, red, font weight, bold. Okay, and then I'll create a meta. HTTP content security policy. Oops. Meta equals new w dot document dot create element meta. Okay, then we have meta dot content. So I'll use the template strings again. Default space self, then script self again, and unsafe inline. Okay, now we need to put all this stuff. So you can say end of whatever dot document dot head dot append child meta. Okay, if you're having issues, you do that, but I'm commenting it out because sometimes it works without it, so I'm not going to bother with it. So body dot append child paragraph, so we append it to the body. Body dot append child, so we append the div. Then we need to append to the body as well. Button. We can also append the style to the body because in HTML5 you're allowed to do that. Prior to HTML5 you had to put it in the head section of the header. You had to put it in the head section. We don't need to do that anymore for the styles. Command dot body dot append child style. Then I am going to target the button and all the hyperlinks. You see there's two hyperlinks. There's this hyperlink for jumboshop.com, and then there's this hyperlink for the donate or jumbo.com/donate. So I'm going to target the hyperlinks first. So document dot query selector all. Go for each function dot add event listener. Yeah, spelled it correctly. So click. Function event. So we want to prevent the default, so it's not going to work. And then, oops. So then we're going to return, are you sure? I'll explain this. So what this is going to do is, when the confirm dialog pops up, If you click yes, obviously it will be true. If you click no, it will be false. So then if it's true, it will continue. If you click false, nothing will happen because we have the prevent. This prevent default means prevent the default behavior. The default behavior will be obviously when you click on the hyperlink, it will go straight to the this URLs. Okay, squiggly bracket, close that off. Close that off. Okay. Then we need to create one for the selector button. Add event center. Function event. The reason I'm spelling this as event and this one is different, just so that you don't get confused. The scope is different, but I'm just doing that just so I don't confuse it, because when I was learning myself, I was super confused. Query selector div HTML. It's the same as we did here on line 12. I'll use the template strings again. The time stamp is now date. Okay, hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. Let's compile this. Okay, it says unexpected end of input, so I made a mistake somewhere. Let's see if I can figure this out. Most likely, right here, this self. That should be oh, probably made some bunch of mistakes. Let's see if this works now. Nope. Okay. Might have to clear this and paste it, as I can't see where I made a mistake. This looks good, looks good, looks good. Oh. Alright, I'm not seeing where I made a mistake. Okay, give me a second, I'll have to... Oh, you know what? Here, let me delete all this. Let's do some debugging. Okay, so to do debugging, you can simply copy all of this and run it somewhere else, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll open up a new window and I'll show you how to debug. So if you're following along on your own, so you just go to the console, you paste the code in here, and nothing happened. That's weird. Okay, so when we look at this, I forgot to close it off here. Yeah, it looks like I forgot to close this off. So this, it's actually the last line here. You see, I forgot, when you see the syntax highlighter, This is why I forgot to close it off. So this is the problem right here, because I used the template string. I didn't really need to use a template string. If I wanted to use a template string, I can put it here and here. So this is the issue here. So quick debug. So let's go back to here. So we use a single quote. So that should fix it. This should be able to run now. Yes, there we go. Quick debugging. Okay, so as you can see, our styling came in, and this is simply a button. And actually, I'll do an inspect so you can see what it actually looks like. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. So what we did is we created a P tag. Inside there, we'll put be sure to check out. We'll put a hyperlink here, and we'll put a span, a nested span inside. And inside the nested span, we have another hyperlink. So you can see anyway, this is the close off the P tag. Actually, I'll keep it open, expand it. And you see we have a div. It's an empty div. And then we have a button. It has an on-click event. And then we have our style here. So there's nothing. We could have put something in the head section. There was no need to. Oh, I forgot to put the. So the reason there's nothing in the head section because I commented out this part, the meta. Okay. So now if I click the message, you see it did it twice. It put the timestamp is this and timestamp is. The reason it did twice is because this event. There's two events. You see there's this event right on the on click, and then I have a button click add event listener. So that's why it happens twice. The reason I did that is so that if one of them doesn't work, the other one is more likely to work. But you also need to know how to do it using the on click as an attribute, or as creating your own function add event listener function event. Now, if you notice here, if we go here and under ojamboshop.com, you see it says ojambo.com on the left, bottom left there. Or if I click here, it says ojambo.com/donate. So if I click the donate, you see it doesn't go to the link. The reason for that is because we have this event prevent default. So what should happen is it prevents the default, and then this should be running, but it's not. So what I mean by that is if we go back here and we fix this issue, and now if I run this, you see it says inner document requires trusted HTML assignment. So it's not going to work until I most likely, let me see if I can comment this part out. Okay, looks like I can't. Okay, so can I copy this? Yes, I can. So I'm going to copy this, clear it out, paste it here, and then I'm going to uncomment the meta. And it says, element, this requires. So as I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. It's really finicky. You see, it found an error, an element. So let me try a different browser. Yeah, it's so finicky. I think it worked in Firefox. I'm going to try Chromium. I'm going to try it in Chromium and see if that works. Copy that. Okay, Chromium is not allowing me. I think I have to do it in Firefox. I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try it in Firefox. Oops. I'm gonna try Firefox. Open a new window, and let's go to inspect. Yeah, so it actually works in Firefox. So let me show this to you. Okay, looks like I gotta do it again. Oh, it only seems to work in Firefox, which is fine. So I'll try it again. Okay, so I'll show you Firefox. This is Firefox. Go to the console, paste it, and you see it comes up here. I have a dark theme. And for example, if I click you see ojamboshop.com there, and this is the donate. So if I click this, you see this is the confirmation box. So if I say, are you sure? If I click cancel, you see it nothing happened there. Here's my little pop-up. Here we go. And then you see the message. You see here, instead of doing it twice, it only does it once. And you see it only does it once again. You see, you can actually see the time is different. This was 1327 at 17, 1327 at 22. So now I'll show you what happens if I click yes. So if I click here for the donate, and it says, instead of clicking cancel, if I click OK, look what will happen here. So I click OK. You see, it actually went to the donate page. Oops, what happened there? This is hard to click. Anyway, so that's the end of the coding part of this. That's the end of the coding part. It's a little finicky, as I was saying. It's kind of finicky, but that's one way. That's because of all the security, the security settings on by default. So I don't want to teach you how to disable security just so that you can follow the tutorial. There's a reason for why JavaScript is prevented from doing some of these things. I said that's usually hackers and people, malicious actors who take advantage of you. Okay, so we can go back to the article, which is on ojambo.com/javascript-dom-click-event. A quick reminder again that every Friday at 8 p.m. There'll be a live stream. It's on YouTube. Click ojambo.com for details and instructions. You can follow along, or you can just watch the video live on ojambo.com. But if you want to participate, you can log into YouTube. You can ask questions. So as you can see, I do have programming courses available on ojamboshop.com. Right now I'm promoting the Learning JavaScript course. It's available online 24/7. You can learn at your own pace. There are no subscriptions. It's a one-time fee. And if you have any questions, you can submit them and get a reasonable turnaround. All you need is a web browser. You don't need to install an IDE or anything, text editor. It's all built in as you saw today. I also have the book version of the course. It's called Learning JavaScript. It's available now on Amazon. There's a paperback version, the physical copy, or the ebook. And finally, there are multiple ways you can support me if you like this type of content. Be sure to subscribe. That's the easiest way to support me. And then you can also go to ojambo.com for plugins. I'll explain this plugin in a second again. Or you can get my online courses or publications. I've just talked about them. Or you can simply donate, clicking the donate button here. So one more time, this is the plugin. It's on ojambo.com. Customer sets price for WooCommerce. You can set the price you want. They can simply add it to your cart. So the suggested price is $50, but you can put any price you want in there and simply add to your cart. You can have whatever quantity you want. So this Friday, this is the plugin I'll be talking about, how it was created, so you can create your own plugin. And there's also other courses. For example, I have the Learning JavaScript course on ojamboshop.com, the Learning JavaScript paperback on Amazon, Learning JavaScript ebook on Amazon. And also, if you need help with anything related to WordPress or maybe tutorials, you can visit ojamboservices.com for custom websites, applications, and tutorials in any programming language. It could be SQL for databases. It could be Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, C, C++, Rust, and so forth. Okay, so let me see how long it's been. It's been just over 30 minutes, and nobody has requested chat yet, so I'm going to stop this live stream. Thank you, and we can chat next time.